Hello. It has been a while, man, actually. As of 3rd August 26, a lot has changed in secondary school. And I'll get more about it in the future videos down the series, but I'm so like peaceful right now. And yesterday I was so happy. And today as well. I guess it's a sense of I have finally moved on. And that is a beautiful feeling. Okay, last video in this series, I probably should have ended with the fact that I was starting to get absurd amounts of acne on my face. And I think that this could genuinely be the defining sentence of my 3 years of middle school. And it would affect so many other areas of my life. This is kind of sad. It was kind of okay, wait. I gotta mention that like I'm considering years 7 to 9 as middle school and year 10 to 11 as high school because like we don't really have year 12 in our country. Year 12 is just college, and how country works is primary is 1 to 6. So primary is year 1 to 6, and middle school is year 7 to 9, and high school is year 10 to 11. That's how I'll consider it. And here's the best picture of me I could find from early 2021. Yeah, like that. And that's my sister in the picture also. Okay, and my acne was like a plague starting from my forehead and then going down to the rest of my face. I promise. Like I remember that, and like it will matter later. Okay, note that I had to write a lot down because a lot of this is not in my immediate memory, and only when I see it then I remember it. And in year 7, it was kind of okay because we only had like 2 weeks or something of physical school, and my only memories of that was sitting with 5 other friends, 2 of which I would keep after middle school. And one guy's like this sort of older looking Indian guy with like glasses who would be the leader of the popular group for the rest of the middle school class. Because from year 7 to 9, we stay in the same class with the same people, and then year 10 and 11, we switch classes. So like we get new people and we stay with them for year 11. We get new people in year 10 and we stay with them for year 11 also. And like I remember that we would like argue over who would help us take all the plates to the stack. So like it usually wouldn't be usually wouldn't be we just bring out all the plates. Usually we would rock, paper, scissors or something, and then that person would have to take like all the plates or something, and that was like kind of funny. And now when I think about it, I smile, and you have made good memories when you think about them and smile, but when you're in them, it's just like nothing like that. It's sort of the cliche of you only know it's a memory when you look back on it, but also it's also about like gratitude for just appreciating simpler times in your life and when you never really had that much worry. And also notice that you can enter this state of not having so much to worry right now, because 5 years you in the future is going to be looking back at now and say like he had no worries, when right now you think that you have a lot of worries, but really you can just manually tell yourself to enter a state where you don't really have any worries, if you get what I mean. Like I will make other videos on my channel teaching you how to do that, like in autistic steps. This video is just for my story. I had a whole year of online school, and basically I was just addicted to a whole bunch of video games. Let me just make the full list from my memory, and I'll probably miss out 1 or 2 of them. And so first it was Pokemon Go in primary, which I was still playing. And then Dep.io from primary, which I was also still playing. And I would find Mope.io later. And this is Mope.io is what I would grind during online school. I kind of moved on from Dep.io, and I wanted to play Mope.io in later middle school. And I would grind Mope coins there to like buy the skins or some shit. And I would also spend a lot of my time in this like Firefly live stream. It's a Dep.io. This is earlier middle school, where holy shit, bro, I spent like 1.5k hours there. Okay, obviously I'm probably leaving the tab in the background while I'm playing Dep.io a lot of the time, but like still that's a lot of hours in one live stream, man. And I would also, and something I got from primary was crypto as well. Like I would deadass like spend a lot of my time studying like the crypto charts and all that shit, because I have an addictive personality, and I didn't really know that you could level up in your traits in real life as you could in like all this kind of shit, all these video games. And the thing with these video games is that I didn't really have any friends to play with, So like I would just play them alone, or if I play them, it would be like with online friends. I didn't really have any like IRL friends to play with, and that's the only way that video games can be fun. And even with IRL friends, it's just not fun after. Now I realize it's just not fun after. If you play it more like once every 2 weeks, it's just not that fun. And then I would later get addicted to Clash Royale also because my school friends were playing Clash Royale and I wanted to sort of fit in a way. And yeah, I bought my first Bitcoin when I was like year 4 or 5. I think I got my parents to do so. And you could be thinking, oh wait, that's worth it. You made a lot of money, but honestly, yeah, maybe overall, yeah, we did make a lot of money from that. I mean, it's still like on paper, and we haven't cashed out yet, mostly. But how to say, it just wasn't worth my childhood looking at that so much. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention chess as well. I spent like easily 10k hours on that, and chess was probably the only quote unquote productive thing I was doing at the time because yeah, I was like playing in state competitions and all that shit. Year 7, I turned 13 that year, and when I look back, this was honestly the most nothing year for me at all. More so, I was working on things that don't matter at all to me now. I guess my brain was developing, but I just kind of wish that I learned skills here. Like if I spent the entire year practicing ukulele or something like that, that would be so fire. Or if even not just focusing on skills, even just like socializing with other people, if I just like made an effort to increase my confidence and socialize more, that would have helped me a lot. Because how to say, your early secondary life, a lot of self-improvement kids want to like lock in, just sit in my room and focus all day. But really your early secondary life and your teenage life in general is for you to socialize. That's a mistake I made that I'll tell you about later down the series. Bro, this is genuinely such a story arc, bro. But yeah, I wish I either just learned skills or I had fun socializing with other people because, okay, most people don't need to be told this, but if you're the autistic self-improver, like most of my viewers are, I would say, you need to be told to socialize more when you're a kid, okay, please. You do care about friendships, you do care about girls, please socialize, and you will find it helps you so much later down in your life as well. You don't want to be the dork who has a lot of money but has no social skills. I honestly don't really have that many reflections from this year, as I don't have many memories from this year either. It was lockdown, so like I just wish I either locked in to better myself and learn skills, either that or just had fun with memorable people, memorable events and memorable people, and not just instant gratification bullshit. And I spent so much time on crypto and games that gave me a fake sense of productivity and accomplishment. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I still have tens of thousands of mob coins to this day, and like I never spent any money at all, and I have so many like multi $10,000 coin skins. Holy shit, yeah. And they don't matter at all to me now. I would sell all of them just for like 3 days worth of time back. And I spent like a year on it. Okay, now year 8 starts, and at this point, like I would say, around year 7 to 8 was like I would genuinely consider suicide as an option, like almost every single day. I don't know if you know how it feels to live like that. When you don't feel like the earlier video said, even though your parents objectively do care about you, right? If your parents are Asian, they probably don't really show it. So I felt that I wasn't really loved by my parents. Like I mentioned earlier, and things with my sister were starting to drift apart. Not so much yet. And I just had nothing to look forward to in my life. And that's so sad to say. Like I really hope that's the entire point of this channel. I want to give men hope, because I found hope in my life through this path of actual self-improvement and improving in the areas of life that I care about. I found hope in it. I found gratitude. I found optimism for the future. I found out how to love the people around me, even if I made a lot of mistakes with them. I found so much peace that I have now. And I really wish the same for you. And this path is so beautiful. So I really hope you stick to it, okay? And if you're wondering what actual self-improvement is, it's what I teach on my channel. And it's basically just improving every area of life that you care about, one step at a time. Okay, year 8 starts and my face is fucked. And I have like no friends. And I remember I have this one specific memory of my math teacher I guess my impression of him was like he's a pretty chill teacher. And what he said was like, I think I was sitting with myself, or at least I wasn't really talking to anyone else. I was just doing math, and he said like I don't remember, but something along the lines of, imagine you're just doing your own math there, right? So it's like, oh, yo, why don't you talk to those people over there, or something like that? Because I would be alone a lot of the time. And he said something and I said something along the lines of like, I don't remember what I said, but something about I have no friends, but I remember this really stuck out to me. Something about me not really wanting to speak to the other people and me being okay with that. And then he responded with like, oh, then you're just sort of living in your own bubble. And I remember that stuck to me. And because you don't really want to live your life like that, where you don't really have friends in year 8. And I guess part of it was because my face is so fucked. Like I genuinely would have had so much more confidence in my life if it wasn't for my acne. Because in primary, I was actually a pretty popular kid. Like, because the only 2 things people cared about in primary school were charge and running. I was okay in tag. I was relatively okay in tag, but in charge I was like the number 2 or number 1 player or something like that, and that made me kind of popular. I actually had some momentum from primary, but it just all got stripped away by my acne. That's kind of sad. I would have had so much more confidence in my social life and with girls and like with everything like that. No, but I guess it was kind of necessary for me, because now I know what it's like to be at the absolute bottom of the social hierarchy or something like that, and I know how it feels like to climb your way up and feel better about yourself and uplift those around you. And about what my math teacher said, it stuck out to me because like he was kind of right. I was just living in my own bubble. I remember like I have this memory of after school, like almost every day after school, I would remember checking. Okay, let me close my WhatsApp. I don't want to click on it. I would remember checking YouTube Studio on the Safari app on my phone, on my iPhone 6 after school ends. Yeah, I'm year 8 and I still had an iPhone 6 at this point, while other people had like iPhone 11 and some shit like that. Okay, imagine you've got 10 minutes after school, you're waiting in a shaded area with other people in your year group, and you open Safari and insane event. Everyone was huge, but Tom Yum J blew up, and yesterday you got 148 views, a shocking 148 views. Wait, Heike 148 views a day is more views than I get now. I fell off since 2024. I fell off, bro. I fell off big time. Okay, to say the least, people didn't treat me well because of how I looked. My parents even took me to the hospital for it, and I remember the doctor was highly dumbfounded because we did like some tests and some shit, and also just they surveyed my parents. Like I actually didn't do any of the big things that would cause acne, and I had face wash. I took care of my face. I went to like facial and shit. Obviously, I wasn't eating like the cleanest, but for middle school kid, I was eating cleaner than a lot of my friends. I never liked like the Takis or the freaking like what is it called, like the pret. What's it called already? What's the cancerous one called already? But you know all the typical fast food snacks in the colorful wrappings that you can think of, right? I never ate any of those. If anything unhealthy I was eating, I was just like raisin bun and marble cake and stuff like that. That's a lot better than my friends in comparison. But I don't know why I was getting so much acne. And like I tried swapping my diet a lot too, and nothing changed. And I remember this one guy was like calling me pimple fuck, like dead ass calling me pimple fuck for basically the entire year too, and it kind of got, with how low my self-esteem was, it kind of got to me. I think one recurring theme you'll recognize in this series is one, extremely low self-esteem, and two, not feeling able to be loved. I think that's a better way to say that, but not feeling able to be loved, or like not feeling lovable, or not feeling like you're worthy of other people's love for you. Yeah, I think you'll recognize those two as recurring themes throughout this series, at least for high school. And that pimple fuck thing would continue into year 9. But by the time year 9 started, I found it kind of funny. And year 9, my acne started getting a little bit better. So like, and his acne started getting a little bit worse. So like, so it's kind of, like karma lah, I guess. And he's kind of like, oh shit, wait. So yeah, it kind of got better in year 9, but it was still kind of annoying, I guess. But I guess my acne got better then in year 9, just a little bit better. And I also got COVID in year 8, but my mom told me to lie. I remember having runny nose in school, right? The science lab was the last. Well, it wasn't the last period of school, but I think I went back home early. Right, I went back home early because I was having runny nose, and I had to take the toilet roll from the science lab because I ran out of tissue in my pocket. Oh yeah, I was the type of student like 3 tissues in his pocket every day. And yeah, I went back home early, and then I took a COVID test, and the test said positive. But my mom told me to lie for the sake of my reputation in school. So like, I still quarantined myself at home for 2 weeks, because like if I would have been the first person to get COVID in my class, if that was the case. And that would like obviously harm my reputation in the class, right? And it was around this time I really got into this Discord bot called like Dank Memer Discord bot, and I'd waste hours of my days like rummaging through trade chats for value deals, or like doing like the scratch, like the please scratch command that I low-key knew how to strategize, and I had like a really good win rate from scratch. So yeah, something like that. I also got introduced to something that would be my downfall, a Clash Royale later on. It got way worse after I got less serious in chess, which around August 2022, I got way less serious in chess. You know, I already had like a state gold medal and like all that shit, and I didn't really care about chess anymore. I started playing Clash Royale, like I mentioned earlier, because I wanted to fit in. And I did achieve that somewhat, but it wasn't worth it. I spent easily maybe 10,000 hours, an exaggeration. But honestly, realistically, yeah, at least 10,000 hours in Clash Royale, if we count like year 9 and year 10 included. And if we count watching Clash Royale videos as well, then yeah, easily 10,000 hours. And I got so many fucking masteries, free to play, all 100% free to play, by the way. And I got Ultimate Champion as well. And if you're wondering, I mained Logbait. Are we back? Okay, gotta adjust my seat. And we're good. Okay. Year 8 is also when I found Hamza's channel for the first time. And if you all don't know, like Hamza is a really big influence, has had a really big influence on my life. And he's why I started this YouTube channel in the first place. Okay, sorry, no. He's not why I started this YouTube, because I already had YouTube in primary, right? I already knew I was gonna be a YouTuber, but he was what got me making self-improvement videos. Basically, he made my channel what it is today, lah. And he really opened my eyes. And this is when, like in late primary, but especially like year 7 and 8, I would dream a lot. After being awake on weekends, I spend like just 1 hour in bed dreaming about a life better than the one I had currently. And you know, when you're young, especially like me after journaling, right? Go watch my full journaling guide. I know relationships mean the most to me, more than money or anything. Now I know that, and I didn't really know that back then. But yeah, my relationships at this time were just like, I really wanted someone who I considered my best friend to consider me back as their best friend also. And at the time, I don't think really ever had that. I had two friends at the time. We'll call them Rabbit and my probably best friend of all time in high school. You know, I'll just dox you, bro. We'll call him SZ. uh, yeah, at the time I considered SZ my best friend, and I don't think at least not maybe later on he did start considering me his best friend as well, but or one of his closest friends. But at the time I definitely wasn't his best friend. I don't think. At least at that time when I was like really desperate. And I remember I liked the same girl a bit in year 7 and year 8, or at least like the idea of her in my head. But I kind of just got over it when she got a boyfriend for a little while and something like that. And wow, moving on. You could do that when you were younger, huh? And at this point, by the way, I still get like suicidal thoughts almost daily, or like I'm pretty sure I get them daily and more than once a day. But like I'm low-key kind of stable in a way. Like I'm not as unstable as I was in like year 10 and year 11 in a way. Or maybe it's just that I grew so much in year 10 and 11 and I'm so self-aware that I noticed my instabilities. But I didn't really notice my instabilities in middle school. I think it's just that I'm just like always I'm stably shit. I'm just always feel shit all the time. Also, talking about dream, I dreamt a lot of playing Minecraft and the Dream SMP and becoming popular through there as a YouTuber. In year 8 and year 9 especially, I'd spend when I was working out, right, I'd spend a lot of time dreaming because I knew I was going to be a content creator one day. I just thought it was going to be Minecraft and Dream SMP instead of self-improvement like I do now. Man, I won't elaborate much here, but after a harsh event, I honestly don't even now because this is like what 4 years ago. I don't remember exactly how it happened or how it was like, but the result of it was, I think this is quite pivotal, and this probably saved me. I made a pact. Like, imagine sitting there all like desperate and unhappy with yourself, right? But that was when I made a pact with myself. Like I shook my I shook my own hand, or I like pinky promised myself that I would never attempt suicide again, not even once, no matter. I remember that. I think the exact phrase was, no matter how shit I felt, I will never kill myself again. Yeah, that was really powerful. And I didn't trust myself on the law. I didn't really like myself, but I felt that if there was one promise that I would keep to myself, because I never really made promises to myself, right? So like this was something special, that the one promise I made to myself was that I'm never gonna kill myself again. Okay, that was high-key really depressing. Let me go to something goofier. I think I wrote something here. Let me find it. Like I'm just gonna I just write some things. I'm gonna decide, and from the list, I'm gonna decide what I'm gonna talk about. Okay, but I think yeah, there was this girl who liked me somehow in middle school, but I didn't really like her because I thought of her as a child. Like I'll just say it like that. I thought of her as like an 11-year-old child, honestly, and I thought she acted like one. And it's kind of like, I guess, the stereotype of like the middle school girl changing crushes every so often, or something like that. And I would get shipped with her a lot. Oh my god, when's the wedding? Okay, but like I found her like really, really annoying at the time because she would just like take my stationery, and I'll be like, oh bro, I saw you put it in your pocket. And she's like, no, it's not in my pocket. And I would want to like search her pocket, and she's like, bro, and she's like, that's the zip for my skirt or something like that. And then I swear at the end of the school day, when I didn't have my erasers for like the entire fucking school day, right? She'd be like, oh yeah, you were right. The eraser was actually in my pocket. The eraser. Oh yeah, I found that I actually found it like really annoying, and like really, really annoying at the time, and it just made me feel even worse about myself. But now when I look back, I think, bro, that's really funny. That's like sweet and funny and all that. oh, that annoying girl when you were 13 years old, like 5 years ago. Oh yeah, that's really sweet. You get what I mean, right? You can just take a step back from the little sensitive boy type beat person and just be like an old man looking back at your memories and you're like, oh, that's really funny, that's really sweet. Okay, but yeah, just imagine. I think what you find is like if you put yourself in like Uncle Iroh type energy and you look back at your past, a lot of the things that you found that really annoyed you at the time or really pissed you off at the time, right? You'll find that you actually smile at them and think, oh, that's funny, and you'll get a little bit of a laugh out of it. And I think that's a really good way to look at your past, to just find humor or like find a sense of gratitude for your past. Oh yeah, and I remember that girl, right? I told you I just thought of her as a kid, and she's basically like a kid, right? But I was actually genuinely so skinny at the time that I was left-handed, and we did a left-handed arm wrestle, and she was right-handed, right? And I couldn't beat her. It was like a stalemate, but I genuinely couldn't beat this child with my main hand while she was using her off hand, while she was using her non-dominant hand. She was right. I think she was right-handed, right? And when we were doing an arm wrestle with my left hand, which is like I'm left-handed, and bro, I couldn't beat a literal child in an arm wrestle, and that actually pissed me off. And my friend, all my friends in the class saw it as well. Oh my god. Okay, not all my friends. I think it was like half the class, but yeah, it's still half the class. Oh my god. Okay, this was year 8. That actually pissed me off so much, bro. So yeah, you can imagine like half the class looking at you and two of you, and I'm wrestling someone, a little child, my dominant hand, and I couldn't be. And you can imagine how embarrassing that would be, lah, right? Yeah. And oh yeah, how can I forget about this other thing? This was in year 8 as well. Imagine you're in cooking class, right? Imagine you're in cooking class and you have a partner and your partner's like stirring the dough and all that shit, right? And you want to make some cookies. So you take a tray and you put it, and he helps you like put the things, and you put it in the oven. And so you start like cleaning up in a way already, right? And you notice and like you hear from the other side of the room that he calls you and he says, oh, why is the tray melting? And I'm like, what the fuck, the tray's melting? And yeah, I realized, and people would make fun of this for years to come. Like even in year 11, people were still talking about this shit. Like I unknowingly put a plastic tray in the oven, like dead ass. And you know what, like the cookies we would share them half eat later on, right? Obviously he didn't eat his cookies because he's not that dumb, but I ate all the cookies. So I probably got like permanent brain damage from that. Like imagine the tray, you can see the tray warp already. Imagine the amount of microplastics I consumed that day. The tray is literally warped. Okay, there's aluminum foil, but the tray is warped. The tray literally deformed. Then you ate the cookies that are on that deformed tray. Like, are we being serious right now, bro? So yeah, that was probably the day that I got permanent brain damage. Yeah, a combination of the original guy who came up with the pimple fuck name. He got on my nerves on the last day of year 8, I think. Yeah, he got on my nerves the last day of year 8. And I remember I scratched him. Like I gave him a scratch on his arm that would still be a visible scar the next year. And he really pissed me off, lah. Combination of that and my grandma passing away. And like I attended her funeral and all that. And also I watched like something that made me think of my dad, my relationship with my dad. And I remember being in, like, this is late at night, like 12 a.m. or something, being in my bed and just like crying and deciding that I wanted to make something of myself for once. I didn't want to just go through life as a victim. Like, I didn't really know what to do, but I knew that something had to change. And I'm not just going to go through my entire life hating my life, you get what I mean? And I'm really glad he made that decision because like, As you'll see in later videos, I'm genuinely so happy now. Yeah, this is something crazy. I would decide that I would start working out at home, and I would take YouTube seriously as well. Because year 7, I think the end of year 7 was the first time I learned how to actually edit the videos. I'm not saying I did a good job or I used proper software, but I started learning how to do basic cuts and stuff like that, right? And in year 8, I was using like Adobe Premiere Rush or something at the end of year 8, and I would see this like Minecraft in Ohio start trending or something. So I would take clips from this YouTuber called like Not Safe. I would edit them a little bit, or I would like stitch them together to make like a cohesive storyline for multiple different videos, and that's when I started getting views. Minecraft in Ohio, Skull Emoji got like 100k, and like Minecraft speedrunning in Ohio, Skull Emoji got like 500k. And I don't want to repeat myself since I've already mentioned it and all that in the lore video, but yeah, I did that edit of like Not Safe. The YouTuber is called Not Safe, Minecraft animations, and yeah, I got 2k subs from that. And for the rest of 2023, I wouldn't be able to replicate the success with the views, and I would just be making some random videos and song covers of Boy Review, like shorts of song covers by Boy Review, because I would later find that guy. And the end of 2023, I would get into self-improvement, but we're getting way ahead of ourselves here, okay? Okay, I decided I was gonna record this video today, even yesterday. So I was like, I'm gonna wake up early and all that shit, but I actually woke up at like 10 a.m. and it's 12 p.m. right now. I had a really long dream, and whenever I wake up from any sort of dream at all, like I always wake up more tired than if I hadn't dreamed at all, or if I don't remember it. Kind of find it hard to speak to the camera coherently when I can hear my parents near, but anyway, this dream was hella weird, low-key. This girl I knew was being obsessive and saying I love you through text or something, and I got weirded out in the dream, and I got weirded out when I woke up in real life. I'm like, well, did this a year ago or something? I don't know. And in the same dream, I noticed like a lot of my dreams are like this sort of interlude where I'm with my parents and we're doing something. Kind of interesting, like and every single long dream I have has like a sort of interlude. You know how albums have the interlude, and the interlude of the dream is like me chilling with my parents and we're doing something. Sometimes it can be an argument, and like I wake up abruptly crying or something like that. But after that, oh yeah, and I think in primary I have to mention that like we have like a chess. What do you call a group of 4? Like squad or quadrio? Yeah, we have like a chess quadrio where it's like the 4 of us, but this time like they are at like a hand and brain chess tournament or something, where like 2 people are needed for one chessboard. One person's like the hand and one person's like the brain, controlling which move the hand makes, right? And like apparently I'm late or something, so they had to get someone else. Bro, this is so fitting. Like I'm late, I'm late, so like they had to get someone else, and like, bro, why didn't you pull up or something like that? And then like we chat a little bit more, and okay, there's actually so much more. That was kind of funny. But yeah, like whenever I have a dream, I wake up feeling kind of tired. So yeah, I should be higher energy right now. But I mean, it's also 12:15 p.m. and I haven't eaten anything yet. So I guess that's why. Okay, moving on. Year 9 and the first sparks of me wanting to improve myself start. I don't remember much about the first few months of year 9, I guess. Because like I was too locked in on Clash Royale, I guess. Now, other than I don't remember much other than I'm just tired of being so skinny. And I think this was in year 8, but I remember this memory of that. The like, remember the Indian kid I mentioned earlier? I walk into class with like the sports shirt, and I think you've seen me with one of the sports shirt earlier, but it's basically sleeveless, right? And he was like, bro, hey, you got sleeveless to show off your muscle. And when I was like, my arm was like a fucking stick, right? So that hikey pissed me off. But like this year 9 actually starts off pretty okay. I would still cry sometimes about how much I didn't like my life, but it's actually quite okay. And you can see like hope starting to take shape here. And I start to get quite hopeful about my life. Like I'm obviously still very depressed, and I still think about suicide. Even though I made the pact to like not kill myself earlier, I still think about suicide a lot. But yeah, overall this year was actually pretty good. I would try hard Clan Wars in year nine. I think year eight as well. And I remember in year eight, I think I would ask my classmates. Sorry, I'm going back to year eight, but I would ask my classmates to do Clan Wars, which would annoy them quite a bit. So what I did was I joined another clan with people who were more locked in on Clash Royale, bro. This is high key embarrassing. Locking in on Clash Royale is crazy, by the way, when you can lock in on life. And, oh yeah, I think I mentioned I was a lock bait main, and yeah, I was main lock bait, and I got to like ultimate champion with it. And I don't know if that's still impressive, but yeah, I got to ultimate champion completely free to play with lock bait. And yeah, I would continue playing Clash Royale for the rest of the year. And I wish I just channeled my addictive personality to something better, whether that was socializing or, playing ukulele or reading or recording videos. I wish I did that earlier. I mean, recording self-improvement videos or just doing anything good with my time, man. Even like spending time outside in nature. My grades were somehow still okay. And for the year 9 checkpoint, I think I got the highest grades possible for all 3 subjects or something. Maybe if obviously no, I don't think I got like 100 out of 100, but you know how in like A levels the highest grade is like A star, right? I got like the equivalent of A star for all the 3 subjects in year 9 checkpoint. I remember I sucked at like my national language though, so like I would high key copy my friend's work. I would copy SZ's work, and I literally ended up getting higher coursework than him, even though I copied his work, which is kind of crazy. And my channel got monetized at this point, but I would face monetization issues like here and later on up, because at the time, now it's not the case anymore, but at the time, the majority of my watch hours were from someone else's clips. Like sure, I modified them and all that, but they were still someone else's original clips, right? That contributed to the bulk of my watch hours at the time. And around February, I have to mention this. Around February, something revolutionary happened. I found boy review music, and I think I found Toxic earlier, but like, I didn't really like Toxic because Toxic is not a good song. How did it become so popular? Like every time I mention boy review to someone, they think of Toxic, and then they think he's a shit artist because they just heard Toxic only. And yeah, I never liked Toxic, the song. I just liked the other songs. Like the first song I found of his that I really liked was Loafers first. And it's very emo. It's very emo, but it's a vibe. High key. I'm stuck in an awful state of mind. Let it be known that I'm alone, so lost from a romantic paradise. So yeah, something like that. And that's this like, sipping now, close your eyes and dance with me. Just sweet humbly, de tristesse, just sweet troubly. We're meant to be, but it's okay. I feel your pain temporarily. Okay, high key, my singing used to be a lot better. Yeah, whatever. The skill has been transferred to video speaking now. And yeah, I was vibing with songs with emo lyrics like that, even though I had never been rejected by a girl before at this point, and I wasn't friends with a girl I wanted to date. So like, what the fuck? I guess I just liked sad lyrics with upbeat, like good beat. How to say, like upbeat but with sad lyrics. And that would be like, I think that's been my music taste since like very young. Like my first ever favorite song was like Me and My Broken Heart by Rixton, where the instrumental is quite upbeat, but the lyrics are about me and my broken heart lah. And early on in the year, we also went to Australia. I think we went to Australia, and it was like we stayed at a quite nice place, and that was when I felt quite calm. Of course, I was still playing Clash Royale, I was still listening to emo songs, but I low-key didn't feel suicidal. Like I know that that's like what? That's just normal, but around this time was when I stopped feeling actually suicidal. And I guess that's really a development from the way I was back then. And thinking about the stuff, thinking about stuff from the past really should make you nothing but smile. Honestly, most of the time. Obviously, for some things you want to like reflect properly, but honestly, a lot of the past should make you smile. And oh yeah, I didn't mention this, but around this time when soon after I found loafers was when I'd find Long Drives by Boy Review. And I genuinely could not shut up about this song. It's like the perfection of sad lyrics and upbeat instrumental. I genuinely liked it so much. I listened to it more than 1,000 times on Spotify alone. Yeah, I couldn't shut up about it in class. And some of my friends high-key got traumatized because I would mention long drives so much. Yeah, I can't do these long drives sitting in the backseat thinking about that one night when Dora caught fire. Oh, okay. Well, what's next? I just wrote like a list of things here and I'm gonna decide what to talk about. Year 9 was something special, man. I think I was really starting to come out of my shell in year 9 and realize that there's more to life than just being sad. Because I really think that depression is like coming from the guy who has tried to kill himself before, more than once. Depression is not something genetic. I mean, your genes can make you more prone to it, I guess, but depression is not something anyone is born with. Depression is not something you need pills to cure, and depression is definitely curable. You just need to do the right actions. Depression is just a cause and effect, basically. How to say it? I want you to think of depression as a thermostat. Depression is not something negative. It is simply a thermostat in your life. So when you feel depressed, that's because your body is very smart, right? Your brain is very smart. Depression is your brain telling you that there's something wrong in your life right now that you need to fix. Depression is nothing more than a thermostat, and when you fix what you need to, the depression will go away. This is something I vehemently believe in, and if you disagree, feel free to disagree, but stay depressed, I guess. What do I talk about? Okay, I started liking this next girl. We talked a few times. I mean, I was low-key getting a bit popular at the end of year 9, but it went nowhere. So year 9 ended, I just got over her lah. And I would say I want to talk something about rejection here. I remember I told one of my friends that I liked her, and like in year 9, but I couldn't have the courage to say it to her. But yeah, I want to talk something about rejection here. The first person that should know you have a crush on someone is that someone. And if you're scared to confess, it's because you probably know the answer is no. So you should either just go confess and get the no quickly or move on with your life. And I'm telling you, like, at least in my middle school, something like that. Like high school is when people start like really talking shit. Like in middle school, it's just like the shit talk is just like all like fun and games. But so really, you shouldn't if you're in middle school right now, you shouldn't be scared to say what's on your mind. Like there's the consequences only really start appearing in high school, man. So like just if you want to confess to someone, just say it, because there's really no consequences in middle school. Like in middle school, it's not that deep, and then and then people only start getting corrupted in like high school. So like yeah, most people in middle school are still like innocent and all that. Obviously, someone being friendly to you means nothing in terms of romantically, but like okay, if I confessed, if I got a yes, that's like whoa, and from my point of view at the time, that's like getting someone out of my league, and yeah, that's like getting someone out of my league from my point of view in that time. And if I got a no, it's like, well, I got a reject. My first rejection, I would have got a rejection earlier. Oh, what the fuck is this? Okay, yeah, I would have gotten a rejection earlier, and that really helps you grow. So like, this is kind of a weird mindset, but as a guy, like you want to get your first rejection early. And you want to know what it feels like so you can grow and stuff like that. You want to get your first rejection early. And so yeah, I just move. I never say anything to her, and I just move on from her at the end of year 9. And also near the end of year 9, but the school, okay, I like time skip back a few months. Boy Review released Lucid Dreams, which is like his last album with The Mask. But I could not shut up about some of these songs either too, bro. I remember in class trip, like we had a class trip, and where I stayed with like a few other guys. Okay, there are multiple villas, right? And the house, the small house I stayed in had a few other guys. And bro, I would just blast Boy of Lucid Dreams from my phone like all the time. Yeah, that was fun. Class trip was really fun. That's the only class trip I've ever had. When other classes have had like 3 or something like that. Not because I didn't go to them, but because like our class for some reason we just didn't have more than one. So yeah, whatever, man. That's really sweet memories, man. And yeah, one of my friends would get traumatized by hop off the highway. I've been having migraines. I've been waiting for a while to have my way. Oof, just a boy acting like a goof. And yeah. And also, interestingly, I would later talk a bit to that girl I had a crush on earlier in year 8. And we had some fun convos, and I was like, past me couldn't... Obviously, I didn't like her anymore at this point, but I was like, past me couldn't imagine having the confidence to do this. Me talking to anyone at all is already like a big achievement. And yeah, I was like starting to do better, a lot better socially in year 9. Obviously, it wasn't still the most popular because I still looked kind of chopped, but I was starting to do better, and I was still quite skinny. Wait, I just realized that like I low-key fill out this shirt in year 9. Like I got this shirt in year 9, right? And like my arms low-key fill out. Like it was very oversized in year 9, but obviously not fully yet, but my arms low-key fill out the sleeves. Holy shit. Oh yeah, how could I forget? Okay, so imagine the class group chat with the teacher inside of it, right? A girl wanted to type thanks Jay, like thanks Jay, like my name thanks Jay, but like somehow they typoed thanks jaebaby in the class group chat with the teacher, and yeah, that was fun. That was really funny. And I would get shipped with her for like the remainder of year 9. And a lot of jokes were made out of it. And I guess that I found it annoying after a while. But again, it's the same thing of, thing you found annoying back then, but when I look back at it, that's really funny. And we had a lot of like minor class events near the end of year 9. And it was really fun. You know, we had like a Secret Santa, we had like activities and shit. And if you're still in middle school right now, before high school starting, what I want you to do is to be the initiator of such fun events. Like if you live in like a condo and they have like a communal area, organize a meetup in that communal area, or one day hang out with your class or something like that. Be the initiator of these events, and not only because other people will benefit from them, but you will also feel like not only just high status, but you'll have an extra memory that you made. So yeah, an action step for you if you're still in middle school is to be the initiator of these events, because in high school and in college, people are busy, people have too much ego already. But in middle school, or at least in my class in middle school, everyone's still like innocent. So you can do this and it'll be fun. Okay, school ends in year 9, and at least in my memory, I'm actually decently happy. Like I end year 9 happy, and this is a feeling that at this point, the happiness I had here is nothing at all like the happiness I have now. But it was something different. And I remember I visited Singapore and Indonesia, I think, with my family, and I remember losing the old glasses that I have on the beach. Like you notice, like in my pictures in middle school and my pictures now, I have different glasses, right? That's because when I went to the beach water, the waves like swept my glasses away, and I didn't even realize until I got back. I was like, hey, why nothing on my face on? I realized my glasses are gone. Yeah. So yeah, that was fun. And I remember feeling kind of down because I lost my glasses. And I remember contemplating something else. I'm not sure. It's probably I'm probably contemplating the thing that happened to my sister a little bit earlier. I'll talk about it in the year 10 video because it's more relevant there. But yeah, that was when a lot of my, I think that was the root of a lot of my instability. Yeah, okay, yeah, I'll talk about it next video. And and that's the way the year ends. Overall, these 3 years were a little bit of a nothing burger. Well, okay, fair. Year nine was stuff started happening in year 9, but especially years 7 and 8, there was not really much exciting pain like there was in year 10 and year 11. There was a lot of exciting pain then, or maybe I just don't feel it now, you know. But I guess my motivations and my foundations with watching Hamza videos were late. Yeah, I just wish I got addicted to either self-improvement or socializing earlier, and not all these video games. So like, you know, at least like improve my looks, gained a bit of confidence, socialize, and made some memories. You get what I mean? If you're in middle school right now, what I want you to do is like start taking self-improvement seriously, but also start taking socializing really seriously. Like you wanna be as social as possible in these earlier years, and just take that advice and promise. And like this is coming from someone who's lived through middle school already. Please make social maxing a priority in your middle school life. Don't just lock in and sit in your room. Please, okay? Listen to me here. Prioritize socializing in your middle school life. Okay, I remember talking about these 3 years in a morning car ride with my dad yesterday. And I don't remember a lot of what he said, but it felt nice just talking to him about it and reminiscing on this time and having so many fond memories of at the time, you know, I might have not thought of the best, but now when I look back at it, I'm really fond of them, and I find it really funny. Yeah, the last video focused on my parents. This video focused on my school, and I sort of ignored talking about. I sort of avoided talking about my parents in this video. But the next video will be a sort of mix of family and school. And I want you to be okay, even if you feel that you've wasted your earlier years, okay? Because how to say, even if you felt that you wasted them, they weren't really a waste. They are a reason for you to keep moving now. And okay, this one's for the year 11 video, but I thought of this quote a few days ago and it kind of made sense. Why think of this thing that I should have said to this girl from a year ago when I can smile at mama instead? And okay, the meaning of the quote is basically, if you're like younger me, that will make sense, but if you're a normal person, that won't make sense. And the meaning of the quote is basically you don't focus on the past, not necessarily because you want to change it, but because it's just better to focus on the present. Like, you know how people say you can't change anything in the past, but for people like me, that didn't really help. I still think about the past, but how to say, just think of it as it's just objectively better to focus on the present moment. And that is where you'll find the happiness. Even if your brain focuses on the past, just like manually make your brain focus on the present and the things around you 50 times, 100 times a day, and you will find happiness that way. There was a lot I didn't talk about. And it's like some stuff my dad said to me as well, and some stuff my dad did to me as well. But this was a really good video. This was a really good video, man. I'm trying to think of what my dad said to me in the car, right? Honestly, I don't remember anything, bros. I guess it was something about the addictive personality and just like, and friends, which is more relevant to next year. But yeah, you want to be making a lot of friends when you're young, because you never know when you're going to need them. He said something like that. Okay, I guess I'll end the video here. You and I, stay compassionate, stay sexy as well, and we'll discover just how many people will inspire.